Is Johannesburg a classic example of a world-class African city? Is it possible for the city of Johannesburg to achieve a 5% economic growth rate? And why is Mayor Herman Mashaba against the payment of e-tolls? Why is the new administration planning to host an Indaba on revenue collection and billing? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Sedu. The new mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Herman Mashaba, delivered his inaugural speech at the city's council meeting yesterday. He emphasized that the days of cadre deployment and nepotism are over, and that his will be a government for every single resident of Johannesburg, regardless of the vote. Hitting the ground running, Mashaba says he has begun work with Pikitup to ensure that shift work is doubled to address filth and decay in the inner city. The mayor says he will not allow motorists to be harassed about e-tolls. He also intends to host a billing Indaba to deal with revenue collection and the billing system. The speech comes in the wake of a report by National Treasury that indicates that Joburg's debt was the fastest growing among the country's wealthiest municipalities. We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial is 089-1104-210. My guest, Herman Mashaba. He's the City of Johannesburg Mayor. Executive Mayor, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for this great opportunity again.
The last time I met you, you were just an ordinary man.
I am still one, even today.
Good, thank you for that. How have you adjusted? 23 days now?
23 days in office. It's been an exciting period, mixed emotions, tough job. You have to deal with all the dynamics of running a huge city like Johannesburg, the biggest city in our country, the city that's supposed to drive the economy of this country. So yeah, it's been interesting and fortunate enough, so far so good. Managed to appoint the MMCs to help us run the city, managed to have the workshop with the city's HODs and executive directors with the city manager. So yeah, and yesterday we had our second council meeting, which went quite smoothly. Yeah. So far so good, but we've got huge challenges in our city, as all of us are aware.
Did you fire the Pikitup MD? Was it you?
No, it was that was the decision of the board. As you're aware, by the time I took over, she was already on suspension. The only thing that I actually confirmed with them when they came to me with a proposal to terminate the relationship, I supported the decision. And I think the reason why I had to support this decision is because our city is filthy. We just cannot afford to have an important institution of our city without having management to run the city. So we needed to ensure that we can start the process of getting a permanent managing director to run this important entity.
What are you taking from Pax?
Look, I think there isn't really anything from Pax. Actually, I think what is important for people to understand that the city, like any city anywhere in the world, more especially when you run in a democracy, you have a group or a political party that runs. But when they move on, they move on. And in this particular case, where the voters of this city said, we don't want this administration, we need change. So we cannot afford to still believe that the city is run by the previous government, that voters of the city have voted out. So I think it's important to recognize that we're here to ensure that we deal with the level of unemployment in our city. We must fight corruption. And at the same time, we need to fast-track service delivery and service delivery to the poorest areas of our city and the settlements. So I think that's a mandate that we believe we've received from the voters who voted for us directly, including our coalition partners who supported us to help us put us into government.
Maybe let me put it this way. From the previous administration, What are you going to continue with, and what are you chopping?
Well, we will only adopt and continue with programs that can benefit the residents of the city of Johannesburg. So we will look at them, all of them, very carefully. And those that work, we will support continuing with them. And those that do not work, we will unfortunately cut them. Like I announced yesterday in my inaugural speech, one area that immediately I could easily abandon was the building of cycle lanes around the Sandton area, when, for me, as a resident of Sandton just under 20 years, across the freeway, the M1, we have a massive settlement called Alexander Township, where our families, our brothers, sisters, mothers, and our fellow residents, where they don't have infrastructure. And as I'm saying to people of Sandton, is it fair for us, when we have 70 million rands budgeted to put cycle lanes in our city, when people of Alexander, in Setswetla, they don't have toilets? I'm saying, no, I have to ensure that I prioritize. And I think for me, I'd rather use this money to improve the lives of our people.
So what is going to happen? I mean, is this not money that was budgeted?
It was budgeted.
The project was ongoing.
Yeah, no. Whatever we're going to stop, or we will stop. Obviously, whatever it's committed, we will continue with it, because we can't stop a project in the middle. But the ones where it's not stopped, I've said to the finance department, all the...
So we're not going to have a situation like Cape Town, where you have this
bridges. No, you're not going to have something like that. Okay. You will have the ones that they can complete, but the 70 million rands worth of saving that I believe we need to take this money into our communities, so that we can go and give them dignity. And yes, one day when people of Alexander, Zanspruit, Cassens, Lowly and others, they've also been given the dignity, we can then start saying to people of Sandton and other areas that we need cycle lanes. Unfortunately, cycle lanes cannot really be a priority of the government with such massive challenges in our city.
Sidiko, you are in Pretoria.
Yeah, thank you, Mpo. The last time you heard Herman Mashaba in your show, he said the poor cannot lead, they are a disaster. I just want to find him now. He's in the council, leading with people who are poor, who are councillors. How does he find that? Because he said the poor cannot lead, they are a disaster. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I think people move on in life. I've dealt with this matter so many times, and I don't believe it is appropriate for me to deal with it. It's something that I've dealt with some in the past. So ask this, I think it's appropriate, ask this caller, that times are moving forward. We've got a huge challenge. 800,000 of our people in the city of Johannesburg are unemployed today. So that is what we need to focus on. I'm no longer campaigning.
Okay. Oh, did you say that because you were campaigning?
No, I did not say. I think if people take it in the context, I've explained the context of that particular matter.
Okay. Josie at work. That is one big project by the previous administration. What is its future under?
Well, Mpo, we will look at every project very carefully. Every project that will benefit people of Johannesburg, we will carry it forward. Any project that is not going to work for people of Johannesburg is not going to be supported. At this point in time, Josie at work, I said to the administration, let's give it a chance.
Okay.
However, please bear in mind, this previous administration, when they took over the city of Johannesburg in 2011, unemployment was sitting at 27%. Today, sitting at 31-32%. With all these programs that people are under pressure, they were succeeding. But the numbers are there to indicate to us that these programs were not working.
Okay.
But however, what we are doing right now, to look at them very carefully, because jobs for us and job creation, it's a key priority of our administration. Would not tamper with anything that would make unemployment numbers go worse. Okay. So we will support any initiative that can attract and create employment opportunities for our people.
Francois, you are in the Eastern Cape. Welcome.
Hey, good evening, Paul, and to your guest, Mr. HM there.
Yes, thank you very much for the call.
My pleasure. Paul, first up, man, I think, I guess, congratulations order for the mayor there.
Yes.
And may I say, Ed, that, well begun is half done. And to the Joburgers, who's been actually longing for a long time for change, I think the change has come, and I believe they embrace it. Mm-hmm. And I know that this is an exciting time, also a difficult time that one can actually also take into consideration. But I would like to actually just, advise that I think what needs to be done now is to focus on that the notion that Joburg or the Gauteng province is against this paradise, that it should crime should be dealt with, and that should be a priority. And that is all that I can say, but thumbs up for the DA there.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, crime is indeed a concern for all of us.
Well, I think, Tempo, in any society where you have such high unemployment rate, naturally, crime is going to be a challenge. When families are breaking up, 1 in 3 of our residents unemployed. Any society like that, you're going to be faced with massive challenges with crime.
Yes.
Yes, we need law enforcement agencies to play their part, but you don't just solve it on a long-term basis using the might of the law. What you do, you need creative strategies. And I think for me, what we need in this country, in our city in particular, is to fast-track job creation, so that our people are given dignity. Because people with dignity they don't commit crime. Mm-hmm. People that normally are involved in crime are those with low esteem, people who have their dignity been destroyed. And unfortunately, unemployment is it's a big contributor to this fact. So what we are saying is we're going to be working around the clock to ensure that our people are given employment opportunities. We want children watching their mothers and fathers wake up in the morning, going to work. We want to see the mothers and fathers, end of the month, earning a living to be able to provide for their children.
Okay. Matsiriso, you are in Gauteng?
Yes, I'm in the report.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Mashaba.
Hi.
Mr. Mashaba, Josie at work, important the good thing talking about Josie work. Cancel that thing. It's not working. I joined that Josie at work when it started in 2004. I know everything, all steps of Josie at work. If you are an ordinary citizen in South Africa, you will never get anything from Josie at work. It's only there for the comrades and the connected few. It's not for the ordinary. They just play with the mind of the poor and vulnerable people. They will call us there to talk to us as if they will talk very nice talk. You will think that you will get some, you will, as an ordinary South African, you will never get anything from this at work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, I guess you have spoken.
It actually pains me, Mpo, and it pains the majority of us as South Africans, where we're using government for patronage. You know, Josie at work or EPWP jobs given to people card carrying, some of the jobs being sold to our people. That is why we're saying that we've got to look at this programs very carefully, because these programs are available to our people, and I think we want to run a government that is there for the 4.5 million residents of the city, regardless of their political affiliation. When there are employment opportunities, or there are tenders, or there are any opportunity being offered by the government, these opportunities must be open on a transparent kind of basis, that they should not really be given to people because they voted for us.
Now, the question of crime is coming back again, and there's a particular street that has been mentioned, Kerk Street. I mean, I've lived in Johannesburg for quite long enough that I know that there are areas where, you know, other people actually do not dare go. And you would remember Small Street, JP and Small. Those areas used to be tourist attraction centers. Today, you see white people, you will be lucky.
or see someone like you. We always only find people who are desperate, who with nowhere else to actually live. What's interesting, I'm actually glad to announce, and I announced it in my inaugural speech yesterday, and before I left the office now, I've managed by 3:30 this afternoon, I've managed to attract 65 business people, property developers in the city. I'm spending 2 hours with them tomorrow because the revival of our city centre is crucial for the development and kickstarting our economy. As I indicated, we need a minimum of 5% growth for us to be able to reverse this unemployment. So the city centre development is quite key. And I know there are property developers, some of them small, some of them big, who are willing. They've got on their balance sheet billions of their own cash that are willing to help us develop the city so that we can bring back people into the city as low-cost housing, commercial spaces. You know, during the campaign coming across our city, where I've got entrepreneurs with no political connection running businesses, small factories making mattresses, some of them making sorts of different furniture, operating from tin shacks or garages. In the meantime, we're sitting with properties in town that are sitting empty for years.
Some belong to the city and they have been hijacked.
Yes, and some of them hijacked by criminal elements. Why the previous administration allowed the situation to develop?
Are you going to clean those?
Well, I have no option.
Okay,
no.
Let's take
I
Isaac
have absolutely no option, and I'm warning all these people who've hijacked our properties. These properties belong to the people of Johannesburg.
Okay,
we need them out.
Let's take Isaac. Isaac, you are in. Is it Brett?
Yes, it's Brett. Yes. How's it?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Isaac.
Okay, Mijani Boti Herman Mashaba.
Our daily candidat.
Our day. You know what?
Very well.
It's just these e-tolls things, man. I don't know how are you going to deal with these e-tolls because, you know, we're behind you and we believe in you.
Okay, the e-tolls.
It's interesting, this question of e-toll for the people of Johannesburg. It's such a sore matter. I think we made it clear us as a DA.
So are we free from e-tolls under you, Herman?
No, you cannot, because e-toll is not our direct competency. But however, what we are saying as a city, we're not going to support anyone harassing our people.
So your metro cops are not going to arrest us for e-tolls?
I've already given them official instructions that JMPD will not get involved in assisting anyone to harass our residents on behalf of Sandral to collect e-tolls. That it's official. People of Johannesburg can be rest assured. And I'm not saying that Sandral should not collect. They can use other mechanisms. They can use their own capacity.
But not in Joburg.
They will never get the cooperation. It's official. JMPD, as of last week, with the MMC, with the HOD, with all the structures, JMPD cannot harass our people for that.
Let's talk about billing. You've been, well, I'm sorry I say you, but the municipality, you know, the metro has been under attack over billing. Are you going to get it right? I know of somebody who actually uses a generator but still continues to receive monthly bills.
Yeah, well, it's a very unfortunate situation in this day and age of technology that our city is unable to collect and charge people accordingly and properly. It's beyond imagination. I think it's because of the political will. I've instructed the MMC of Finance and announced it yesterday in council that I'm going to have an Indaba with the Finance Department to understand this so that we can deal with this issue as a matter of urgency. Because we need to ensure that those people who cannot afford to pay, indigent households in this country that cannot pay, we must allow them, and the government has to offer free services to them. But those that can afford to pay, we cannot assure any mercy. But at the same time, it's not a question of us as government being harsh. It's about us making sure that our bills, when I give you a bill, it's a correct bill and expect you to pay.
Tabang, you are in Alex.
Yes, I'm in Alex.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to ask Mr. Herman Mashaba
about
the issue of housing in Alex, because
Can he please assure us that he's going to do an audit? Because most of the people who receive houses, they don't belong to them.
Oh, okay. The people who are living in houses there, most of them, the houses do not belong to them. What are you going to do with the city of...
Well, I think we have heard of this, and people of Alexander have been complaining for years.
Mm-hmm.
Some houses in Alexander, built 5-6 years ago, unoccupied, having security guarding these houses. I mean, these are some of the cases that are so strange, so unacceptable, that we can build the houses in the city, leave them empty for 5-6 years, unoccupied. We have houses in our city occupied sometimes by people not living in this country.
Okay.
Not obviously legal in this country. This is unacceptable. How this happened, only the old administration can explain this. We are going to conduct audits of these houses to ensure that people who are living in government houses, they have acquired these houses illegally. Because if they acquire them in an illegal fashion, we've declared corruption in the city, public enemy number one, and I've managed to really get the buy-in of the HODs and everyone in government that let us fight it. Not everyone in our government is corrupt. We employ as a city 33,000 people, and a majority of our people are good, law-abiding citizens. They were compromised by their leadership. But right now what we are saying is, all of us, let's fight corruption. Let us not steal from our people, because when you steal public money, you steal from the poor.
Two things, very quickly, we're running out of time. Illegal connection of electricity. What are you going to do? There are areas in certain parts of Kliptown and the other side of Eldos where you can't walk. It's basically booby-trapped, illegal connection of electricity. I can take you there.
I know. No, I'll take you. I've crisscrossed.
Well, let's take each other there.
I've crisscrossed this city during the election. I can't say that I know every street, but you can imagine for us to get the kind of support that we received, it was because of crisscrossing the city. So I'm aware of these challenges and why the government allowed this to happen. You see, when you have a government that does not protect the rule of law, you collapse the country. You cannot have any country that does not have the rule of law. And unfortunately, our country right now, it's reached that stage. But fortunately enough, people of South Africa on the 3rd of August voted for change. Let me give you an example before you hold me on. Give you another example that is threatening the future of our country. This illegal mining. Why do we allow this to happen at this rate? 70% of the people that are arrested are not even South Africans. Why is this government allowing it?
Well, that's your mine.
They owe it to the people of South Africa.
The one in Langlaagte is yours.
That is it's a competency of the national government. And that site, actually, what I said yesterday is that we're going to close it because the site has been declared a heritage site. Why we're not using this to actually have this as a tourist area so that we can benefit people of Johannesburg and people of South Africa, because the foundation of this country where gold was discovered, this is what we need to focus on.
The last one, I have to ask this question. The churches, they don't have places of worship, and I'm talking about African indigenous churches, and many of those that are the fire churches in tents, they are just spread all over. What are you going to do with, allocation of land use, to be used for worship purposes?
Well, I think it's not just really churches that are looking for accommodation. Our people in Alexander, in Lowly, Zandspruit are looking for land. That's the reason why you have all these illegal connections. You have people in backyards, accommodation. What we need to do as a city, with immediate effect, we're doing an audit of all the land, state-owned land, so that we can develop it, service it, and give these properties to our people to use, so that our people can be landowners. Today in Soweto, in Diplo, I gave the first the title deed to a family that has lived in the same house for 63 years. They've applied for title deed since 2007 and eventually gave up. And 2 weeks ago, I had a session with the management of the city, and already today we gave away the first title deed. We've got 2,000 title deeds which we're going to be giving out to our people within the next few weeks, and we're going to fast track this process. All these RDP houses that have been built since 1994, I believe I'm going to do everything possible to ensure that our people get title deeds to these properties.
So are the churches going to get title deeds?
Well, including churches, within business people. I've got business people in Soweto. Third generation. They've been operating in city-owned properties. These properties are going to be given to those communities.
Herman Mashaba, you've got a huge task ahead of you.
I accept it. And someone has got to do the job, ensure that we can make this city a great city again for our people.
You're welcome, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
All righty. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest. And from me and the rest of the crew, all of them, cameras, makeup, and everybody, have yourself a wonderful time. Have a thought.